The Miami Dolphins were also undefeated when they last met. It was the AFC at its best. Second quarter in Buffalo, tie game. Miami quarterback Dan Marino to his new tight end Keith Jackson. Dolphins take the lead. Jim Kelly to Andre Reed, 16-yard touchdown. Third quarter, Buffalo driving, but Kelly intercepted by Lewis Oliver. Returned 103 yards, a dominating performance by the Dolphins.
It hurt, especially losing at home.
I think it gave us confidence that we can play and win big ball games on the road.
And tonight they meet again, this time in Miami. They're no longer undefeated, but they're each 7-2 and now are tied for the lead in the AFC East.
The fact that it's such an important game, I think will make it a difference. There'll be a lot more intensity and a lot more emotions.
Anytime you can beat the way you did, you can't wait to face them again, and we're excited about it.
The Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins, Game 2 on ABC's Monday Night Football. As they go for first place in the AFC East. And there is a feeling of playoff intensity here tonight. Hello again, everyone. I'm
Ulenik, who is hurt and is inactive tonight. So wide to the new center with a snap to Marino and the handoff to Higgs. And Miami starts with the first down. Nate Odoms makes the tackle. So they get 11 on the ground on their first offensive play. The fake to Higgs. Time for Marino, and he guns it to the 33 to Keith Jackson. Another Dolphin first down. Tackled by Henry Jones. 6, and they bring Bobby Humphrey in, 44, the former Bronco. Everybody goes into the pattern. The pass over the middle to Keith Jackson, and he's tackled by Jones. A first down to the 24-yard line. 4 straight first downs for the Dolphins.
Boy, what a close spot this will be to see whether
He's at the 23-yard line. Higgs back in. Page in motion. Higgs, he's got it. To the 22-yard line, Bruce Smith makes the tackle.
That does an awful lot for your offensive line. Early in the game,
Mark Clayton in motion. Blitz. Marino gets it away. Higgs is open. Inside the 10. Higgs to the 1.
whoa.
Bennett was blitzing. Marino was able to get it all. It's Beatty in motion. The fake to Higgs. Marino throws. Touchdown to Greg Beatty. And the opening quarter, and the Dolphins take a 7-0 lead.
Into action until the Jets game a few weeks ago, but he is one of those superb tight ends also, and he can make the difference out there.
2nd and 4, and here is Thomas exploiting the hole, and Thurman Thomas takes it to the 50-yard line, tackled by Hobley.
He's 12 yards.
This is what the Bills need. Block.
1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. Kelly going deep, incomplete, intended for James Lofton, flag down.
Lofton was calling for it.
Yeah, that flag is on the passing play with Lofton.
Pass interference, number 37 defense. First down, spot of the foul.
Lofton, we could see Lofton move.
21-yard penalty, first down at the 29-yard line. Lofted to Reed, and he takes it to the 10. Tackled by Vesti Jackson. Kelly with great touch to Andre Reed.
Andre Reed, one of the question marks coming into tonight. He has been troubled with a groin injury, and they did not, but he'll go back with the automatic.
26-yard field goal attempt for Steve Christie. 2:12 to go in the quarter. And the kick is good. They get 3. 2:06 left in the first quarter. 7-3 Dolphins.
Levy, that
Marino, throughout his career, 18 games versus Buffalo, 63.3%. And tonight, he's been perfect, 6 for 6, 57 yards. Dan throws, he's 7 for 7, and Page making the catch, takes it to the Buffalo 43-yard line, tackled by Carlton Bailey. Marino goes down.
Now there's the hit from the front, but there comes Hansen from the backside. More often than not, folks, that's going to draw a flag. The Bills were lucky to get away with that one because the play was obviously over from the quarterback's position.
8 for 8 for 75 yards. To the ground they go to Higgs, and Higgs gets wrapped up on a nice play by the nose tackle, Jeff Wright, slicing through, grabbing him by the ankle, stopping him for no gain.
Here's a guy, number 44, as the Dolphins are confronted with passing situation. Yardage here on third down.
Third and a short 5. They have to get to the 38-yard line for the first down. Marino throws, and it's caught by Bobby Humphrey. Dan 10 for 10. First down, 19-yard line. Step into his left, throws wide open, touchdown, Layton.
Chalk that up to the athleticism of Dan Marino. He got out of the pocket. The secondary, I'm sure, thought he was going to be sacked. He skipped away from it. They blew the coverage.
Combination in the history of the National Football League. Marino to Clayton. 24-yard line. Tackled by Bernie Parmalee. And ABC's Monday Night Football is being brought to you by... Caught a glimpse of Oliver Dottie. Here's the catch made by the tight end, Metzelars. And he gets ridden down by Mark Sander at the 50-yard line. And that's another Buffalo first down. That's a team 3 Dolphins. On first and 10, Kelly throws. Reed makes the catch. Reed tackled at the 41-yard line. That's Vestey Jackson, 24, with the hit. It'll be second and 2.
Arm of the ball.
They're going to go. Here's a 54-yard field goal.
Here's a lengthy little try by Christie.
At least they're lining up to attempt it.
He's got one from 52 already this year.
And into the swirling wind. It is straight enough, and it is long enough.
Whoa! That would have been good from at least another 8 yards.
Safe to say, I think we know why Scott Norwood is not here.
That ball was into the net.
Safe to say we know in which direction the wind prevails tonight.
Take a look at this, folks. Up in the jet stream.
Whoa.
Where are you, Tom Dempsey?
He'd be in second place, that's where.
Goal with a line drive kickoff taken by Tony Page at the 15, and he brings it back to the 34-yard line. And here's another look at a 54-yard field goal by Christie that cleared it by at least 10 yards.
I have never in my life seen a human being kick a football as far as Steve Christie just strikes this. Ladies and gentlemen, from 54 yards out, watch this ball. It is still climbing. There it starts to come down. It is going to go into the net. It strikes the net right there. That ball is still 20 or 30 feet above the ground when it hits the net. I have never seen anybody strike a football like that. That would have been the NFL record, I think. That would have beaten Tom Dempsey if he'd have been lined up far enough down.
On first down from the 33-yard line, this is Higgs to the 35. Tom Dempsey holds the NFL record, 63 yards. That kick by Christie sets a new Buffalo record. Buffalo had 4 different kickers kick 52-yard field goals. Scott Norwood, Joe Danello, John Leipold, and Grant Gutt.
And it might have been better than that.
Second and 8 at the 36. And Marino gets sacked back at the 29-yard line. It's the first sack of the game for either team. Jeff Wright at the 29-yard line.
Let's take a picture of that. It doesn't happen very often.
And no blitz.
Looking on as their offense takes over at the 17. They trail by 8. Kelly throws on first down, and the catch is made a little short of the first down by James Lofton. And these two quarterbacks tonight have each been perfect throwing on first down.
The class of '83.
Not bad quarterbacking tonight, huh?
Kelly
14 for 14.
Coming out with John Elway in '83 and Kenny O'Brien.
On second and 1, they don't get it. It's Thurman to third and a yard from the 26-yard line. They'll go to the air and over the middle. It's Andre Reed who lives drives over the middle. First down at the 39-yard line, tackled by Vesti Jackson.
Well, that tell you the confidence they have in their passing game with Kelly. With the 3rd down and 1, they still go to the passing game. Andre Reed
and just go right on out. You have to love a competitor who fights for a couple extra yards like that, knowing he's going to take a shot for his efforts. That's why Thurman Thomas is a complete player.
I think Lifford Hobley thought he was going to go out. Gave him a quick little juke, gets extra yardage.
And also gave him the first down. He picked up exactly 10 at the 49-yard line. They give it to Kenneth Davis. And Davis picks up 8. And again, we're talking about the fact he's Thomas's understudy and as good a backup running back as you'll find in the league. It's pretty much up to Thomas. When Thurman needs a rest, he signals to the bench and comes out. And second and 10 at the 39. The catch is made. Thurman Thomas inside the 20, run out of bounds at the 13-yard line by Vesti Jackson.
And Jackson saved 6. Again, the crossing pattern that Buffalo runs so well. Not only with
get a chance to catch your breath or your composure.
3rd and 2, and they give it to Kenneth Davis for the touchdown.
Yeah, I think that was directly related to what you said. The Dolphins really not even set defensively. Buffalo up to the line of scrimmage. Quick count. They ticked off about 12 seconds on that clock before they ran off that play.
And they're a doggone good offensive line anyway with Wolford, Richer, Hull. Beautifully executed. Look at that hole. Sanders cut off to the inside, and you know that's a situation where who knows what kind of an effect that John Offerdahl might have had if he was. How do I stop it?
Christie's extra point is good. 3:20 remaining in the first half as Buffalo draws within 1.
Big block for the center. Number 67, Kent Hall. Stands up his man. And Davis just squirts through that opening. Kent Hall, when the Bills were struggling on offense, had a full groin muscle. He was in and out again.
Jay Turner there as well, but that's a class. Dan Marino pointing out the potential blitzer.
Marino. Beautiful pass to Cooper. First and goal.
Boy, that's why they're dusting off the pedestal in Canton, Ohio.
Boy, that is sweet.
21-yard field goal attempt. In effect, an extra point for Stojanovic to try to put them up 17-13. And he does. And with 42 seconds remaining and Buffalo having all of its timeouts, that's an eternity. This half is not over.
And a field goal kicker that can kick it about 65 yards.
Yes.
I think it's safe to think we've seen some quality quarterbacking tonight.
Little screen. Thurman Thomas. He gets out of bounds. 7 seconds. And
he gets hit out of bounds.
Alexander hits him.
Make the playoffs.
2nd and 6. That's a dump off to Thomas.
And David Griggs is going bananas. He thought Howard Ballard had held him, and he's complaining bitterly to the
2nd down and 10. Clock down to 8, 7, 6. Beebe steps out of bounds with 4 seconds, and he steps out of bounds at the 35, so you're looking at a 52, 53-yard attempt, and he has already made one from 54.
Chip shot.
Not even close and blocked.
It's blocked, and look out, you better. Oh, there's a smart play. Get it out of bounds.
Frank Wright knocking it out of bounds.
Time has run out.
To end the half.
That was an intelligent play by the Maryland quarterback, Frank Wright.
End of an outstanding first half. Miami 17, Buffalo 13. And we'll return with halftime activities after this message from the National Football League and a word from our ABC stations. Had already gone to the locker room.
For the Dolphins.
Pace for the game as Marino gets sacked at the 13-yard line by Bruce Smith.
Oh, Bruce kind of with a little finally. He started in the middle.
McKellar, top of your screen. And well, they always see the second one.
Yep. Well, that's they do always see the second one, but
2nd and 7 from the 10-yard line. Buffalo down by 4. Gardner makes the catch. He takes it to the 1. That's a first down. Carwell Gardner, who had his first carry of the game. McKellar in motion on 1st and goal. It's Kenneth Davis scoring his 2nd touchdown of the night, and Buffalo has the lead.
And rather a dramatic turnaround from the first half. Miami unable to do anything on their first possession. Buffalo taking it in.
one of the advantages you get by putting a guard at tight end is certainly a better block at the point of attack. That's Mitch Farrat, number 59 on the left side. And look how he takes number 51 Cox and just pins him back. Gardner, good work. Richard, good work at the point of attack, and an easy stroll into the end zone.
Christie for the point after. So a couple of keys. It was a short Roby punt. It was a costly personal foul on Marco Coleman. The Bills convert, and with 9:16 to go in the third, for the first time in the game, Buffalo is ahead. Miami at the 20-yard line. Marino off the fake. And Marino goes down at the 12-yard line, and it is Marcus Patton.
Oh, that was a crawling sack. Marino didn't even see him. He was down on the ground, and Patton snaked out an arm, I guess, and
Still signals because of the crowd, but it's his crowd.
Marino out of the gun. Here come the Bills. He gets the pass away. That's a first down and a lot more to Mark Clayton. All the way to the 35-yard line.
Oh, boy, it wasn't a pick, but it came very close to it. Clayton and Duper crossing last week.
At the 41-yard line, Higgs, tackled from behind, loses the football.
Buffalo has it.
It is Darryl Talley who popped him, and Bennett who recovers.
Talley with a good strip. Crawled all over Higgs. This one wraps his arm around and just gives it a yank down. Here comes the right arm. Bang. Out it goes.
Credit Henry Jones, the strong safety. He's the guy that came up and forced Higgs back to the inside.
On first down now, Thomas picks up 2 to the 46-yard line. Darryl Talley on a team with so many stars, and even on his side of the ball with Smith and Bennett getting so much publicity.
Mark goes back.
Kelly has to get it to the 46 of Miami, and it's Thomas who makes the catch and takes it to the 43 for a first down. You know, one great thing about Thurman Thomas, he's been such a great player. You can only hope his legacy is not he's the guy who forgot his helmet at the Super Bowl. Kelly on first down, throwing to the 30-yard line. The catch is made by James Lofton, who's tackled by J.B. Brown, and that's another Buffalo first down.
J.B.
quarterback coach. On 2nd and 9, the fake to Thomas. Kelly throws, and a great catch is made by McKellar at the 5-yard line. And it will be 3rd down and 4 for a first and 5 for a touchdown. 13-yard line. Wright puts it down, and Christie bangs it through. But it was vital for Miami to hold them to 3, and that's exactly what they did. It's 23-17 Buffalo.
Trying to present.
2nd and 7 from the 21-yard line. That's Page in motion. Marino with wonderful protection. It's intercepted off the deflection. Henry Jones inside the 30, out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Intended for Keith Jackson and off his hands, and Jones winds up with his 7th interception of the season.
And a couple of them now he's taken back for touchdowns. He could have taken that one back.
Well, and that's Keith Jackson.
A little high, but no question that's got to be caught.
That's right on the face mask. That's a beautiful pass by Marino.
And here comes Jones at an 82-yard.
From the 18 now, Here's Thurman Thomas moving to the outside, and Thurman Thomas is he in? No, he's not. Out of bounds inside the 1.
Now there's a judgment call by the back judge. The pylon went flying. Thurman thought he had a touchdown. Initially, his left foot comes down on the goal line. You know, it's one of those things from that angle.
Attempt for Steve Christie. Wright puts it down. Christie hits it.
Can't say the Miami defense isn't keeping it alive for the offense. 2 times they've turned them away from 1st and goal. They kept it to 3.
It's the difference between 30-17 and 26-17.
27. They carried that in the Super Bowl, and they were destroyed by Washington. Buffalo is a much more solid team this year.
3rd down and 10. Marino hanging right in there. What a catch at midfield by Mark Clayton. A tremendous catch. 90 miles.
You have to like them if they really care, though.
2nd and 10 now from the 50-yard line. Marino just before he gets to the line of scrimmage, and that catch is made by Bobby Humphrey to the 24-yard line.
And being chased by Bennett at the same time.
5 yards now. Ball spotted at the 25 by Mitchell. And Stoyanovic's kick hits the upright.
You know what? He pushed it to the right last time and barely made it. And there's a question of overcompensating. He puts a little more into it to the left and snap hooks it and hits the upright.
And 10. Well, on the first drive, the Bills were 3 and out, but since then, as you can see, either a field goal or a touchdown or a field goal attempt has been the end result.
Can't stay healthy for Denver.
2nd and 2. Marino is able to shovel it to Humphrey, and it's another first down for the Dolphins. 3:02 to be precise. First down at the 35-yard line. And a big sack. Darryl Talley.
Huge sack.
4th of the night on Marino.
And this is just so out of character to see Dan Marino and his pass protection fall apart.
50-yard attempt. Mitchell will put it down at the 40-yard line.
Yes.
It'll be close. Got it.
Whoa. Right at the outer limit.
Don't go to bed yet.
26, Miami 20. Buffalo wisely. 3rd and 7 from the 18. The game clock is down to 3:08. Kelly, Lofton, there's the flag. There's the flag on Troy Vincent.
And that's a good call. Vincent got there way early. He got there way early.
Well, he had little
Vincent fall down, but when he comes up, watch his right arm. Watch him grab Lofton right there. And that's interference.
Absolutely.
He pins Lofton's arm to his side way before the ball gets there. And this officiating crew tonight has been less than stellar.
In that category, he'd be the first man in history to do it 4 consecutive years. Only he and Jim Brown have ever done it 3 years in a row, and that's 132 total yards tonight. 66 on the ground and 66 receiving.
Simply, you almost have to come with some kind of a blitz. Do something that's disruptive.
They give it to Thomas, and Thurman gets it to the 47-yard line. Your guess is as good as mine right now as to where they spot it.
It looks as though he's got it.
They gave him an unbelievable spot the last time.
It did look like he got it when he came down.
Yep. And he's got it.
And that is it.
So the Buffalo Bills are going to go 8-2. Miami's going to be 7-3. Point would have the advantage because of the better division record.
And Miami looking at quite a schedule. Houston is here next Sunday, and then they're at New Orleans and at San Francisco. Then the Raiders on Monday night. Buffalo, a little easier run of it. The Colts, they have Atlanta, then the Colts, the Jets, and Denver at home.
Well, we got what we thought we'd see tonight. Two doggone good football teams going at each other. And two sensational quarterbacks.
Great
showing
friends.
why they're both at the top of their game.
Great friends and great competitors, and a couple of very competitive hitters meet at midfield. Don Shula and Marv Levy.
So here are the Bills again. 8-2, best record in the conference, and at this very moment on this 16th night of November, the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through Rich Stadium.
And it's snowing up there.
That's the story from Miami. We'll talk to you next week from New Orleans. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Deerdorf. Good night from Joe Robbie Stadium.